Hi, and welcome to this video where we're going to show you how to configure MyMovies 5 to automatically copy to lossless MKV files. I've opened the MyMovies dashboard here, and I'm going to go into Settings. And the first thing for me to configure in here is the data countries. These are the countries that disks will be identified against. So depending on which countries your disks in your collection are from, you can configure these. Mine is set to have the first countries set to Denmark, and then I have disabled second, third, and fourth country options. They could have been set to an English-speaking country or any country, depending on what your preferences are. So the thing for me to do is to go into the disk copier, enable that. It will automatically be set to automatically copy from any drive, but you can go into the drive configuration and configure which drive to automatically copy from if you prefer that. Then on the video DVD target format and the Blu-ray target format, I'm going to set both of them to copy directly to the video converter. The video converter is then going to be the one taking care of converting to the MKV format, but since I configure this copier to copy directly to the video converter, there's not going to be any copy of the original disk to another format. It's just going to copy directly to the MKV format. Then I have to select the path to store the files on, and then I'm going to go into the video converter settings here. I'm going to enable that, and you can see that I've set it here to MKV uncompressed. It's been marked as being in experimental state. That just means that there can be certain disks that it's not going to handle correct. So if you have any problems with disk not being handled correct, just give us a notice on our forums, and we'll try to debug that with you. So second thing I'll do here is select where to store the MKV files. This is, in this situation, the same folder that I selected in the disk copier. The folder that is going to be used is the one in the disk copier, since I've set it to convert directly to the video converter. Then I have to select my primary preferences for audio language, secondary preference, whether I'm going to embed subtitles into the picture. That doesn't apply to me when creating a MKV files, because that only has the options to include the subtitles into the video, which is then again set to always. Primary subtitle selected here, secondary subtitle selected in this box. The option to automatically add disks to disk copy with the disk copier to the queue doesn't apply to me here, because I'm copying directly to the video converter. The same thing for deleting original media. There isn't any original media to delete, because we're copying directly to the video converter here. Then there is an advanced setting option, where you first of all can specify the temporary directory that MyMovies is going to use to store the files. If you have a small C drive, it would be recommended that you change this. Then you can select what to do with audio languages. By default, it would include both configured audio languages into the files. You can configure it to just include the first, or include all audio languages. You can then choose to configure what the software should do if there is not any of your primary or secondary audio language present on the disk. Either include the disk primary or include all audio language on the disk. I've set it to include all audio languages as the default, because if my primary and secondary primary and secondary audio language is not present, I really just want to have everything included to make sure that the disk is playable in the language we prefer. Then we have some checkboxes to include director's comments and audio tracks for visually impaired. These are not always marked correctly on the disk, so you cannot always rely on these being included, even when setting these. Then for the subtitle languages, I can again choose to include the first configured, include both configured, or I can include all subtitle languages. The situation here with subtitle languages is that it takes a significant amount of time to get these subtitle languages embedded into the file, they have to be converted first. So ideally you just include the ones that you've configured, but if you prefer that you include all subtitles, you can do that, but make sure that you take into account that it's going to increase the amount of time a conversion takes significantly. The subtitles aren't going to use up much space compared to the video, so it's up to you what you prefer. Then I'm going to press apply, and now whenever I insert a disk into the drive here, it's just going to be automatically copied into the lossless MKV file, and it's going to be available for playback. The disk is automatically going to be identified against our online service, and everything that the disk copy normally do. The exception here is that it just creates an MKV file directly. Thank you for watching, and happy copying.